Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mr. Rupert's online class tutorial. Today's lesson is the Great American Land Grab.
Well, hello ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mr. Rupert, and today we're going to learn about how America was born, went through puberty, and then became the beautiful country that we all know and love today. You might be asking yourself, how is it that Mr. Rupert just became so incredibly handsome? I'm glad you asked.
I was born a rock star. I didn't have any friends, so I made up my own band. In middle school, I was a straight baller. I worked really hard and graduated. You see? Here I am in my high school yearbook. Can you guess which one is me? After high school, I fell in love with food. As I got older, I got fatter. So fat that Santa Claus had to sit on my lap. Now I'm a proud father. And I'm also the incredibly handsome history teacher you get to see every day.
You see, just like my story, where I started off as a little baby and then got a whole lot bigger, America has a very similar story.
You see, the original colonists from England came over and set up on the east coast of the United States because it was right next to the ocean and because they couldn't figure out how to get past the Appalachian Mountains. In 1776, they got tired of the king's taxes and said no more taxation without representation. So they decided to throw down in what we call the American Revolution. With the help of France, the colonists were able to defeat the British, and in 1783, we became our own country. For winning, not only did we get the original 13 colony land, but we also got all the land west of the Appalachian Mountains in the Ohio River Valley. These terms were laid out in what was called the Treaty of Paris 1783. So in 1783, this is what the original America looked like. 20 years later, we got fatter when then President Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Purchase from France in 1803. This is significant because it doubled the size of the United States. So in 1803, this is what the United States looked like. But we didn't stop there. In 1819, we decided, you know what? 181 years from now, we're going to have a really close election, and we need a state that is going to have some major controversy with some hanging chads. So let's go get Florida. So in what we call the Adams-Onis Treaty, the United States bought Florida from Spain. So in 1819, America looked a little bit like this. Just over 20 years later, the United States really got busy adding territory, because in 1845 came Texas. Texas decided it wanted to be part of the United States, so the United States laid claim to Texas in the Texas annexation. So in 1845, the United States looked a little bit like this. Just 1 year later, in 1846, the United States acquired the Oregon Territory. So in 1846, the United States looked like this. In the 1840s, the United States was in a war with Mexico called the Mexican War. This concluded in 1848 with the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. With that treaty, the United States claimed even more land in what we refer to as Mexican Cession. So in 1848, this is what the United States looked like. Just 6 years later, the United States was trying to finalize the Transcontinental Railroad, and they needed a little more land. So in 1854, they purchased this land from Mexico in what is called the Gadsden Purchase. So in 1854, this is what the United States looked like.
Okay, so you might be saying complete brain overload right now, way too much information. That's okay. We're not worried about you memorizing all of that right now. What we really want you to be able to do is memorize the order in which the United States acquired the land. Okay? So So we're going to do a dance in class to help you memorize that, so be ready for it. That concludes this online tutorial. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Original, Louisiana, Florida, Texas, Oregon, Mexican Session, Gadsden Purchase, Oregon, Mexican Session, Gadsden Purchase, Original, Louisiana, Florida, Texas, Oregon, Mexican Session, Gadsden Purchase, Oregon, Mexican Session, Gadsden Purchase, Original, Louisiana, Florida, Texas, Oregon, Mexican Session, Gadsden Purchase, Oregon, Mexican Session, Gadsden Purchase.